Hey guys, so today I'm reviewing a mechanical keyboard from Drop. It's my first time checking out one of their keyboards, never had a chance to get my hands on the Control nor the Alt. Today, instead, I'll be taking a look at the Drop ENTR, a budget 10 keyless mechanical keyboard that doesn't compromise on quality. Let's check it out. So this keyboard comes in a simple brown box with the Drop logo on top. The box has foam at the top to protect the keyboard, and there's a tab to easily get it out. Nice. Under that keyboard tray hides a USB Type-C cable and a wire keycap spooler. The keyboard weighs just under a kilogram or around 2.2 pounds. They also sent over additional keycaps that are the same as the ones pre-installed, just with a different theme, this one right here being the Valiant colorway. They retail for $45, which I think is reasonable given the quality, and seeing them included in a $90 keyboard is quite impressive. If we look a bit closer at the keyboard, the top part of the case is plastic with a matte finish, and it seems like it would scratch easily. I guess it's not too bad, as it's not a surface that should get a lot of wear. The bottom part of the keyboard is made out of aluminum with rounded corners. My black unit was anodized, so the finish should be durable. And I have to say that it's pretty much flawless on that regard. Underneath the case, you'll see the model name. You also get flip-out feet, allowing an almost flat configuration or a slightly angled one. It's worth noting that the rubberized pads don't really come in contact with the surface the keyboard sits on when the feet are folded, so the keyboard moves around more easily than when the feet are up. It also feels better while typing with a slight angle, in my opinion. At the back, near the right, there is a USB-C port. Given that it's not recessed, it should accommodate most third-party cables. It's a fairly simple design, and it reminds me a lot of the MK01 mechanical keyboard by Xiaomi that was released a few years ago. The overall design is very similar, from the bottom aluminum case section to the feet design. It's possible Drop had this keyboard made in the same factory, or at least reused this design for their keyboard. In the end, I think it's a nice design, so I don't see this being an issue or anything. Now, looking at the layout, this keyboard features a fully standard NC layout in a 10 keyless form factor, so you end up with every key a full-size keyboard would have, minus the numpad section. It's a bit larger than what I usually prefer, but I think it makes sense given that it's an entry-level keyboard and it would accommodate most users as long as they don't need the numpad. As for the keycaps, these are pretty sweet, especially considering the price of the keyboard. They are PBT and they feature double shot legends, so two different plastic materials are used to form the characters. These keycaps will be durable and they won't shine easily. They have a nice matte surface too, which I like. The legends with closed shaped characters don't have slits either, which isn't common on cheaper keycap sets. They feature an OEM profile, and while I would prefer a cherry profile, I believe it makes sense to include something that's more standard since it's targeting a broader audience. So overall, pretty nice keycaps. Now let's have a look at what's under these. This keyboard is offered with two switch options, Gateron yellows and hollow trues. It's a surprising selection, limiting it to only two very specific options, but given the context of the keyboard, I believe it makes sense. This keyboard is really going against entry-level big brand keyboards, and most of them will come with either cherry or Gateron reds. It's super rare to see a pre-built gaming keyboard with Gateron yellows, even though they are known to be some of the best budget linears. This alone is a good argument to get the Drop ENTR if you really want GAT yellows and want a pre-built keyboard. It's likely one of the only well-known options out there. As for my unit, it actually came with hollow trues, so that's the tactile switch option they offer. It's a very interesting switch. It's more tactile than cherry or Gateron browns, so again, same argument as with the GAT yellows, but it's also a very heavy switch. I find that it's really easy to not bottom out with these, as the actuation force is much lower than the force to bottom out. You get the tactile bump, and there's almost a hard stop when the switch actuates. Definitely one of the best switch for not bottoming out that I have tried. And in fact, when you get used to them, they're quite nice. They wobble a bit more than the Xilinx V2s that I have recently added to my personal build, but they're not in the same price range, so I think it's fine. In terms of stabilizers, they are not lubricated out of the box, so they do rattle quite a bit. This keyboard is also equipped with LEDs under every switch. They are not RGB, instead they're single color white LEDs, which I am totally okay with. I have to say, they have a pretty distinct yellow tint though. I'm not sure if it will show in the footage, but it really does in real life. These are definitely off. I believe the translucent plastic used as a double shot material accentuates this issue. Probably doesn't help. You don't get any form of animation or effect, only brightness controls with function plus arrow up and down. Finally, this keyboard is shipped as is. It doesn't come with a software nor an onboard solution to reprogram keys. It's not possible to record macros, modify keys, or key combos to get other functionalities out of this keyboard. So, in conclusion, I believe this is a great entry-level keyboard. The design of the case is great and pretty good quality for the price. The keycaps are some of the best you'll find on the keyboard at that price, and the switch options are fairly limited, but more interesting than the typical blue, red, and brown options. What I don't like about it is the fact that it's not hot swappable, so although it's a great budget keyboard for someone just getting into mechanical keyboards, it's not really a great option to build on top of. Most people will likely want to replace it with something that is either hot swappable or at least that offers more flexibility in terms of switch options. Finally, I'm not a fan of the top plate that scratches easily. It's definitely something to be careful with if you buy one for yourself. Still, in the end, a really decent keyboard given its $90 sticker price. So that wraps it up for today. As always, I'll have an affiliate link to this keyboard down below. Feel free to use it if you're interested and want to support the channel at the same time. So thanks for watching, make sure you leave a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, as I'll see you in a future video.